Welcome to Real Healing with Elena. Hi, I'm Elena, a board-certified naturopathic doctor, functional medicine certified health coach, and someone who spent years doing everything right and yet still felt terrible. This podcast exists because healing is not as complicated as the wellness industry wants you to think, but it is more layered than most people are told. Every week, we go deep into root cause health, detox, drainage, mold, nervous system, supplements, mindset, spirit, the whole picture. Because your body, your mind, and your spirit are not separate problems. They're all one system, and guess what? They heal together. If you're functioning, but know you're not thriving, you're in the right place. Now, let's dive in. I help people with chronic, unresolved health issues finally heal. Not by doing more, but by understanding what their body is actually trying to tell them. And if we haven't met before, you should know, I'm not just a practitioner who studied this. I lived it. In 2019, I was allergic to 69 out of 72 things. Literally, my back lit up like a pinball machine. Everything I ate, touched was irritating, inflaming me. Itchy throats, all the things. I couldn't drive because of cognitive impairment. I couldn't walk from a parking spot to a grocery store without having to strategize my energy, and did I have enough to do that and make it back and get home? I've been told I had early onset dementia at 39 years old. I spent over $100,000 in 5 years trying to figure out why I kept getting sicker despite doing everything right. And what I learned changed not just my life, but how I approach healing and every single client I work with. Today, I want to share with you a concept that finally made everything click for me, something I called the glass theory. And I promise you, this will change how you think about your health, your symptoms, and why everything you've tried so far has not created the lasting change you're looking for. So let me tell you about the glass theory. Think about a child in a bathtub with a cup under the faucet. That child quickly learns the cup can only hold so much water before it begins to overflow. This is exactly how I look at our health. You're a cup. Your body is a cup, a vessel. And the toxic burdens, everything that stresses your body, mind, and spirit, that's the water. You can only hold so much water before you start to overflow. And when we overflow, that's when disease sets in. Or I like to say, dis-ease. The body is no longer at ease. Your body is no longer working as it was designed to, as God created it to. We become less resilient. Your reserves are depleted. You're tapped out. And here's what's wild. At that point, even with the addition of one single tiny drop, cause overflow. Even if that drop is technically good for you, a healthy food you've never reacted to before, like avocado for me, a supplement that everyone says is amazing, but it's triggering you, a workout routine you no longer can tolerate without crashing, stress that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. This was me in 2018 and 2019. My glass was overflowing. My body had become sensitive to absolutely everything. Now, the beautiful thing is we can do something about it. We can lower our glass. We can lower the water by reducing the burdens on the body, the mind, and the spirit, and by improving drainage. Let's drain it all out faster than we're putting it in. In other words, we empty the glass faster than we're filling it up. When we do that, we create more resilient body with a larger health reserve and more room to fight. And more room for peace. This is what I did for myself, and this is what I do with clients every single day. I help identify what's burdening their body, find out what's filling up their cup, ways to open drainage so they can lower this glass and gain more resilience. And I'm always in awe of how miraculous the body is. Because once we lower that toxic burden, the body can do what it was designed to do. Heal itself, restore itself. So let's talk about what actually fills up your glass, because this is where most people miss it. Your glass is filled by everything you put in your body. And I mean that in the biggest sense possible. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. It all adds up. On the physical level, we're talking about the food you eat, the water you drink, environmental exposures like mold, pesticides, fungicides, VOCs, EMFs, heavy metals that you can find in pharmaceuticals, deodorant, cooking materials, and more. Toxins and chemicals that we unfortunately find in our food now, water, cleaning products, our personal care products, and more. Pathogens, parasites, bacteria, viruses, Lyme. But here's what most practitioners miss. It's not just physical. Your glass is also filled by mental and emotional burdens. Stress, and I mean real stress, not just your perceived stress. Your nervous system staying in a constant state of fight or flight. Watching the news. Too much exercise. That busy go, go, go lifestyle so many of us do, and I used to. A lack of sleep. Sitting in traffic. Hello, Houston, Texas. The list is long, and it was very hard for me to recognize. Also trauma, especially childhood trauma, but it can be any experience that your body doesn't know how to regulate. That leaves an imprint on your body, and it's trauma. It's traumatic. Emotions that are trapped and we haven't properly dealt with, lingering in your subconscious mind. So here's what's really important to understand. We all have a limit of what we can hold, and we were all made differently. Some of us have a very large glass. Some of us have a small one. I have a small one. Some of us can drain the glass quickly, and some of us have to work at it, which is me. I've got a small cup with poor drainage. I got to work at it. The size of your glass and your ability to drain it, that's really related to your genetics. But what you put in your glass and what you fill it well with, that's on you. And this is why lifestyle is the major factor in your health and not genetics. So if this makes sense to you, you're probably wondering, okay, but I've been trying to fix this. I've been to doctors, I've tried supplements, I've changed my diet, I've done the cleanses, I've changed my personal skincare products and my house products. Why isn't this working? Why am I not at my vibrant health? And here's what I see happen over and over again. Mistake number 1, the faucet is still running. Most people are trying to bail water out of their glass while the faucet is still on at full blast. They're taking supplements to detox, but they're still being exposed to mold in their home. They're doing a cleanse, but their nervous system is still in complete fight or flight mode from their job, their relationships, their lifestyle. You can't empty your glass faster than you're filling it up if you don't address what's coming in. Mistake number 2, only addressing one type of water. And I mean that metaphorically. The second mistake is only addressing one aspect. People go to a traditional doctor who only look at the physical body and usually just suppress symptoms with medication. That's like putting a lid on the glass. The water is still there. You just can't see it overflowing anymore. It's capped. Or they work with someone who's all about mindset and emotional work, but they're not addressing the mold in their home or the parasites in their gut and their body. Or they do tons of physical detoxing, but never address the trauma or the stress or the nervous system dysregulation that keeps their body in this survival mode. You have to address the body, mind, and the spirit. All 3, not 1, not 2, but all 3. It's essential. So mistake number 3, not opening drainage first. Y'all, this one is huge. And this is what kept me stuck for so many years. Most practitioners, even good functional medicine practitioners, will start with a detox protocol or give you supplements to kill things, parasites, mold, bacteria, whatever. But if your drainage pathways aren't open first, you're killing all that. Where does it go? Nowhere. It just recirculates in the body. Or you get what's called a Herx reaction. You feel absolutely terrible because the body is now releasing those toxins that had nowhere to put them. They were trapped in organs and tissues, and now they're being pushed out, but you can't drain it, so it's just circulating, and you feel way worse than you did to begin with. I learned this the hard way, and I did a $500 detox program while still living in a moldy house. Not only did it not work, but I got worse because we were stirring everything up without anywhere for it to go. You have to open up those drainage pathways first. Your colon, your kidneys, your liver, your lymph. Then, once those are open and flushing and working, then you can safely detox. But you can't detox till those are open. Okay, mistake number 4, ignoring the nervous system. And here's the biggest one, the one that changes everything. Your body can only heal as much as your nervous system will allow. And let me say that again. Your body can only heal as much as your nervous system will allow. When your nervous system is stuck in survival mode, in fight, flight, or freeze, your body will hold onto toxins to protect you. Even if you're doing all the right protocols, taking all the right supplements, your body won't release what it's holding if your nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to do so. And I learned this firsthand. During my major healing journey, my body released enough to get me functional and living. But I was going through an incredibly difficult divorce at the time, and I was under tremendous stress. My body and its wisdom held back layers that would have been too much for my nervous system to handle all at that time. It protected me by not releasing everything. It only released what needed to be released to let me function and live in the environment that I was. It wasn't until after the divorce was finalized, after I had months of rest and recovery, after my nervous system finally started to calm down, that my body felt safe enough to release yet another layer. And then another layer, and then another. Is wild. This is why I start with nervous system work in my programs. Not because the physical detox isn't more important. It absolutely is. But because without nervous system preparation, your body won't let the protocols work, or they work short term. So here's how we actually lower the glass. If this is the framework, this is the framework I use with every single client. Step 1, we have to limit your exposures. We have to slow the rate at which you're filling your glass. This means looking at everything that's coming in. And you don't have to do it all at once. Even starting with one thing can make a big deal. Switching to organic, clean foods. Removing toxins from your home, your cleaning products, personal care products. Addressing environmental issues like mold. Reducing unnecessary stress where you can. Step 2, open up your drainage pathways. Before we do any detoxing at all, we support your colon, kidneys, liver, and then lymph. We make sure your body has the ability to move things out before we ever start killing or pulling things. Simple things like drinking enough water, supporting valve movements, dry brushing for lymphatic drainage, castor oil packs for liver support. This creates the foundation so detoxing can actually work. Step 3, drain the toxins, body, mind, and spirit. Now we systematically clear. For the body, we address the physical burdens, mold, mycotoxins, parasites, bacteria, viruses, heavy metals, radiation, chemicals, etc. But we do it in the right order when your drainage pathways are open and at the pace that your body can handle. Not what we think, what your body can do. For the mind, we work on nervous system regulation. We address stored emotions, trauma, subconscious beliefs, stress patterns. We teach your mind and body what safety feels like so that you can get out of survival mode and into healing mode. Now for the spirit, this is essential that we reconnect you with your purpose, your intuition, your inner guidance. When you're aligned spiritually, it becomes so much easier to recognize what's good for you and what's not. Okay, step 4, keep the glass low. This isn't a one and done thing. We live in a toxic world, unfortunately. You'll continue to be exposed to things, body, mind, and spirit. Life will continue to be stressful at times. The goal is to give you the skills to recognize when your glass is getting full and know what to do about it. To empower you to be your own healer, not dependent on me or any other practitioner forever. And this is why I teach muscle testing, so you can ask your body directly what it needs. What's filling your glass? What will help you drain it? So this is exactly the approach I take with all of my clients. Whether you work with me one-on-one or go through one of my group programs or go through one of my courses that are self-led, everything is built on this glass theory foundation. I created what I call the Renew You ecosystem, specifically to guide people through this process in the right order, at the right pace, based on where they're starting from. For some people, it starts with the Renew foundations, building awareness, understand what's filling your glass, starting to make changes in your environment and your lifestyle. No supplements yet, just awareness and truth-telling. For others, it's Renew Reset, resetting the mind, focused on deeper nervous system regulation work, preparing the soil before we plant the seeds. This is where we address the mind piece, the subconscious patterns, the stored emotions, the stored stresses, teaching your nervous system what safety really feels like. Then there's Renew You. This is my 6-month comprehensive program where we integrate everything, body, mind, and spirit. This is where we do the physical clearing with supplements, but we do it with nervous system support, with spiritual alignment, with muscle testing, so it's more personalized to you. And for people who want or need completely customized one-on-one work, there's Renew Complete, my premium 9-month program where everything is adapted specifically for you at your own pace. I also do individual consultations where we unpack what's specifically in your glass and create a roadmap for how you address it. That's my integrative health consultation, and I recommend everybody start there unless you know, especially if you're going to do any of the supplement protocols. But it's a great way to find out what's going on in the body. Where is a good place to start? Can't go wrong there. The point is, this isn't about selling you more stuff to add to what you're already doing, your overflowing glass. It's about teaching you how to understand your glass, lower your glass, and keep it low for the rest of your life. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Your symptoms aren't random. They're not mysterious. They're not evidence that you're broken or doing anything wrong. Your symptoms are your body's intelligent communication that your glass is full. That's it. And when you understand that, when you stop trying to suppress the symptoms and instead start listening to what they're telling you, everything changes. You stop forcing healing and start restoring alignment. You stop chasing protocols and you start trusting your body. You stop outsourcing your power to others and start reclaiming your sovereignty. This is the work I do. This is what I teach. And if this resonates with you, if you're tired of guessing game and ready to actually understand what your body needs, I'd love to support you. You can start by booking an initial consult, an integrative health consult, the link below, where you unpack what's in your glass, create a clear path forward. Or if you're ready to dive in, check out any of the Renew programs. All the links are in the description below. And if you're still just learning, that's okay too. Subscribe to this channel. I'll be sharing more about nervous system healing, drainage pathways, muscle testing, and everything I've learned on my own journey, from being allergic to 69 things to thriving today and not allergic to any. Your body is trying to tell you something. The question is, are you ready to listen? I'm Elena. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me. If today's episode resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. That's how this message reaches the people that it's meant for. You can find everything on my website, cleanliferealworld.com. And if you're ready to understand what's actually going on in your body, book a Renew Clarity session. The link is in the show notes below. Subscribe wherever you're listening, and I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself. You're worth the effort.